welcome to Z Explain. I am Z. We are watching the first round of the Wednesday night jackpot, my local club runs. We got Brad on the bottom, Steve on the top. Yeah, Brad's been kicking butt lately. I think he's won last four out of the five tournaments, and I think the one he didn't win is just he didn't play in. So he's unbeatable lately. And so actually we have he's up 5-3. I assume Steve is doubling him here. Okay, so the take point for white is 20% at the score plus much extra. The plus is like gammon go after it goes double take. So the issue is if Steve wins 15% gammons here, the take point actually goes up by 15%. So Brad's take point would have been like 35 in that case. So I don't know, 15 is maybe about right. No, it's probably maybe a little lower than that. So maybe Brad can justify a take there. Although I kind of don't think it's a take at the score. I'd have to take a better look at it to be sure, though. Yeah, the math's kind of really nice at that score. I mean, it's just you take it if you're 2 away and your opponent's 4 away, and then you get doubled. You take the percent chance you get gammoned, and add that to 20, and that's your take point. So you need, like I said, it's 15% gammons. You need to win at 35% or more to take it. So even if you're not used to thinking about like percentages in that term in those terms when you're deciding whether to take, it's sort of a good score to think a little bit about that on, just because the math is so straightforward. So this is a little questionable, I think. I really don't want to leave 4 shots though by playing 10-4. Is there something else where you play like 8-4, 6-4 though? Keep the extra builders alive for the 5 and the 7 points. Maybe that's slightly better. Worth the look at least. So 3-2 by Steve. It looked like he had to leave a shot but got missed. He's got to leave another shot here. So yeah, this looks good. And then you want to spread things out. So this is perfect. Brad gets the hit on the second try. Yeah, I think if maybe Steve played the 4-2 a little more flexibly, maybe could have absorbed a bad 6 in there, Fact, probably that would have done it. Which is not necessarily saying the 2-4 was absolutely correct, but yeah, I'm putting 2 guys on the 4 also. But anyways, he rolled 6-5 right away and had to leave it direct because he left this really stodgy position. So probably stacking the 4 was a little bit better. Yeah, he would have only had to leave a few shots there. Anyways, looks like Brad is bringing this one home. Okay, this might be a slightly safer play there, but you can't really fault Brad's play. Like I was thinking clearing the 6, maybe leaving just an immediate 6-5 was slightly safer with the 4-4, possibly. Okay, so it looks like Brad has this one. He's going to advance to the semis, where he may or may not have an opponent waiting. We will see, but we'll watch that match. I guess if Brad has an immediate match. Otherwise, we'll look around for another match. Yeah, maybe we'll take a look at a couple of these decisions in this last game here, like the cube action, for instance. That might be a pass. And we can look at the numbers. And then the maybe Steve's 4-2 is worth taking a quick look at too. Yeah, not the greatest played match. But let's take a look. I don't think Brad's take is like that. I mean, I think it might be a little bad, but I honestly don't think it's like super bad. Okay, so XG, analyze, last game, double take here. Oh yeah, we've got Steve on the bottom. I was confused because I had the wrong person on the bottom. Yeah, no, pretty solid pass. Not terrible. I mean, I've taken way too many 1.4s to consider 1.14 a huge blunder or anything. But yeah, okay, yeah. So gammons are only 12%. But the flip side of that is Brad's not winning over 30. Yeah, I thought Brad might win over 30, so I thought might be okay, but no. And then what happens? This looks good. This looks good. Okay, you can make the 7 here if you think you're going to be hitting next turn. But actually, your structure is pretty good if you just kind of spread everything out like Brad did. Like you still have your 8 point, for instance. 5-4, good. 4-2, yeah, that's the problem. You want to play 8-4, 6-4. Or 10-8, 10. No, that's 10 to, no 10-8, 10-6. Oh no, I was thinking 8-6, 8-4 might be okay too, but so a little stripped on the 8 point. Yeah, it is okay though. Yeah, so that's what Steve did is I guess he's worried about putting checkers below the open 5 point because he wants to use all his checkers to make the 5, but maybe just thinking about he wants to clear the 10. But yeah, the problem with this is your 6s. A lot of your numbers are kind of bad coming up. Like look how the 6s play, for instance. Your only safe 6s, I think, are like 6-6 and 6-4. All the other 6s you have to leave a direct. You can put it up on the board. So you do this. I mean, you're kind of the checkers are going behind the open 5 point, which isn't great, but you still have everything sort of alive for still making it. And your 6s, like for instance 6-5, you can play relatively safely by playing 10-4, 8-3. So this is safe for long term, and you get better builders. You get more numbers that make the 5. Okay, so you got kind of punished. You got kind of punished for that. And then one last thing. Brad's technique seemed okay at least. Yeah, see here, there's a slightly safer play than what Brad did. Don't get me wrong. Brad's play is completely safe on the next roll. We can put it up on the board. Like there's no blot numbers here, except like 1s are bad. Like 6-1, for instance, are going to leave a ton of blot numbers on the next roll. And like most ones have that. Most ones have that issue. And like stuff like 6-2 also is a little. You're gonna be left with a little bit of a shoddy position. So compared to this, clearing the 6. Okay, so we can go back to the original. So you play 9-5, and then you clear the 6, 6-2 with 3 checkers. You're leaving like this. You're leaving a 6-5 next turn. But your 1s and 2s play better. So it's often this structure where you have two blot numbers, but like good flexibility is going to be safer long term than a play that just completely strips your home fronts, which is like 2 checkers on every point, every high point. So it's very close. So if the race was a little bit more of an issue, like even like this position, you're a little worried about losing the race here if you enters right away with a 6-6 or 6-5 even. Maybe you go the other way here because you lose fewer races if you keep a closed board and bear off a checker. But it's close. It's close in any case. Anyways, let's see what's going on with the tournaments. Okay, Barry. Let's stick with Brad and Johnny. John Leonard. We will put the Brad on the bottom. John on the top. John's been getting pretty unlucky this year, I think. I don't think he's really done much. I'm also getting quite unlucky this year. Although I made the finals like a million times. I just keep like losing in the finals. I think what it is, I'm 2-6 in the finals. Like we play every week pretty much. I miss week or two in there. But I played most weeks in September. They made the finals a ton, but 2-6. I am playing okay though. If I didn't have, it's sort of nice to have the bot. Because you don't have if I didn't have the bot saying, "Oh no, you're actually playing okay," I'd be like, I must be doing something wrong, right? Because I'm 2-6 against players who I have an edge over. So I was like, thinking, oh, maybe I'm screwing up somewhere. But no, I think it's just based on like the PRs and stuff. It's just like really bad. It's really just a bad stretch of luck in the finals, anyways. I made the finals a lot, so I guess I can't complain. But yeah, it's very top heavy. It's very top heavy prize structure. So you kind of got to win the finals if you want to make any money in this tournament. And especially since I don't really hedge. I decided not to hedge this year. Okay, let's take a look at this match since it doesn't look like Brad and John are starting. Okay, so we got Barry on the bottom, Dougie on the top. Yeah, Barry beat me in round 1 in a quick fashion. Okay, so it's 2-2. Yeah, I was thinking a little bit about stepping up with the 2, but it's much more important to make the 4-point here than to play 23-21 with the deuce. So anything else is a blunder. This is just a misclick. You can actually just click on the point, and it makes it for you if you can make it. You don't have to click twice. Okay, a good play by Barry there. He cannot cube this, I don't think. It's gonna be either he might be too good. Maybe too good on the dances probably. Oh, it's not too good by a lot. So this should just go double pass, I think. Okay, yeah, it looks like good cube handling by Barry there to hold off before the 6-6 and double him right when he comes in. I wonder if Barry would have played on there in the dance. He actually did cash something against me. That was too good. And it was like a weird score too. It was like he owned a 2 cube and it was like I think it might have been up like 4-1. So it's kind of a 4-1 to 7, 3 away, 6 away or whatever. So it's kind of a weird score to offer a gammonish 4 cube on, where he's 3 away or whatever. Or maybe it was actually 2-zip. Yeah, it was 5 away, 7 away, and he offered me a gammonish 4 cube. That's what it was. So it's still a little bit of a weird score to cue back because you're getting like 8 points for a gammon, four extra points for the gammon when the cube's on 4, but you can only use one of them. So it's kind of like if I take, it's kind of like he's killing most of the value of his gammons. But it was a pass, and I found the pass pretty easily. So anyway, so Barry's with the 6-4. Okay, it can hit twice or it can hit, and it's kind of, if he plays 20-14, it kind of duplicates 5 cutely. 5's cutely, but probably 17-11 would be better if he is with the 4. But yeah, this is sort of a play. With the blot and black sport, I'd have to think about that one. All right, yeah, I guess I would do this and hit again just to cut down on the shots. Yes, that does seem like a good play by Barry. 5-1. This is not a good roll. Maybe it's 6-1, 6-5. I kind of like 6-1 because it's sort of a crappy point, but having a block there is like even more crappy. So it might be either this or possibly 24-23 with the ace has its merits also. But anyways, he chooses to hit, and he gets punished for it. He's got punished possibly for the right play. And now he's got kind of a crappy front position. Oof. Yeah, it's possible. There's something better there also. Just not seeing it clearly. Okay, this looks reasonable. Oh, then you can make the 10 point. It's better to make the 10 point with 3 of them here. Keep the 17 and not leave a blot in the outfield. I'd rather have the 17 than the 14, I think, because it provides more of a bridge to the back checkers. And I don't particularly like leaving a shot in the outfield. Yeah, and this structure looks weird with kind of 2 midpoints. You just need 1 midpoint. Okay, can make his 9 point here pretty cleanly. This looks nice. Yeah, Oh yeah, this is a good play. I was gonna say 13-3, but this is better. And then Barry really should be getting the backmen going. So split and down, yeah, just like this. Yeah, it's a little bit under attack. I mean, Dougie's pretty happy to hit with most sixes and fours, but with the five black checkers back, you're not supposed to fear the blitz very much. So that was a good play by Barry. 5-3. Assume he's doing this. Okay, not a great number by Dougie. Let's see where he wants to play it. He could go all in on like a back game plan by playing 13-10 also, but he looks like it's a more reasonable hold. Looks like sort of he has a reasonable holding game when he does this, even after white escapes. Okay, black on roll 4-2. I assume he's just floating out into the outfield. I think this is better than splitting with the 2 and hitting with the 4. To keep all the nice structure and keep the risk down a little bit, I think. Oh, okay, so what about just making the 16 here instead of this? You don't necessarily love sending another checker back. Black might get a second anchor. And you don't like leaving the slot in the outfield, and you don't like the fact that your guy is stuck. So yeah, it might have been better to forgo the hit there and make the 16 points. Yeah, it looked like it was working, but not anymore. Okay, so Dougie should be thinking about doubling a bad number here, I think, like a dance. This is not a dance. Okay, I would hit now just to keep black a little busy, keep him from making that 5 prime. Oh, I guess anyways. Oh, what a great shot that was. It's like he had 3 problems and this like fixed 2 of them, you know? He's just down to like 1 problem, these 5 backmen. The 5, you know, small problem. But yeah, it's got this awesome front position now. Jeez. Okay. Oh, this is a great shot. Yeah, this is perfect. A little bit of risk, but you really got to get the guy going. Okay, yeah, Dougie gets this nice shot. 3-2. Yeah, I wonder about cubing this as black. I think I would, because white's position is often just going to collapse really weirdly. So maybe that's double take. Meanwhile, black's position is like sound as anything. Yeah, similar stuff here. Yeah, I see that like white's like way up in the race, but positionally, white's kind of busted, you know. Yeah, I probably would not leave any shots here because I really don't want to get another guy hit. And it doesn't look like there's a ton of upside to hitting on the deuce point. It's not like you have this like great attack or anything. So I would just play 9-3. Yeah, like black should double this, and I don't even think white should really take it. It's gonna end, most of the time he ends up with 3 guys trapped behind this really horrible prime, maybe 4 guys, and then he just collapses more. So I don't know if it's a take after 9-3, but it seems more likely to be a take after 9-3. All right, so 4-way, 4-way. So if you win a bunch of gammons, you should be very aggressive with the initial cube at this score. Okay, book play here is to hit 1. You actually never, there's no, if you want to play like the computer anyways, I think there's no response to an opening roll where you're hitting twice from the 8 points. At least at like a normal match score. And maybe at all match scores. In other words, like doing what Barry did, where he hit twice using a checker on the 8 point, stripping the whole thing down. So it's better to hit with just the 4, leave it there for some extra risk, but you have a good point slotted, and then you play like a productive 3 somewhere else, either by bringing it down or splitting. And I think bringing it down is a little better here, but yeah, splitting's okay. It's better than what Barry did. All right, nice shot by Dougie. Should do some work anyways. Oh, I don't know how to play it. You put a guy on the 10 point kind of nicely, although this builds up like kind of a nice 3 prime. And actually, if you're going to do this, why not play 701 with the last one? And again, you don't love the ace point, but you like the ace point more than having a blot on your ace point. And I don't know, I guess jumping out's like a decent thing from the back, but I don't think it's as good as covering the ace point. On the other hand, Dougie's play has like nice builders for that, like the good points. Okay, I would hit in some fashion, although the 4 looks weird to me. Yeah, I think I should have hit with the 1 and then played 13 to 4. Well, getting hit doesn't seem like a big deal here. You're already so far down in the race, you know. And getting another guy sent back isn't a big deal, especially with the black blot on the ace point and the 1 point board. So yeah, this looks good, and then you make this looks good. You make the good points. Black on roll has nothing. I don't think white has anything. Gets to make his ace point and then play a productive ace somewhere. Good. Yeah, like I would lock up the ace point again because I just don't like the blot there. Oh, this does hit in the outfield. Yeah, nice spots. Okay, this does hit in the outfield. Good. Okay, I would enter into pop outs. I don't like this as much. You kind of just, if you pop out to the 16, you kind of distract black a little bit. Like, in other words, like his 2s are duplicated, kind of. Because he wants to hit in the outfield with 2s, but 2s also are the points that, also the numbers that make the 5 and the 4 points. Okay, so let's see. Black has the whole 5-3 here. It's really looking for some sort of reasonable hit. Okay, so 11 to 8, 7 to 2 is a play. Okay, he goes with it. Yeah, no, he wants to keep white a little busy. Maybe get a little blitz going if white rolls really badly. Okay, yeah, white left himself a little exposed there. There's probably something better there. Ended with the 5 and play 5 to 2 maybe. Like black's like H into attack. Like at the score you could even cube this, I think. Yeah, I would have cubed that at this score. You're about to be too good a lot. So he covered Dan's borderline too good, you know. Oh, great shot by black there. Okay, so what is this? I would have doubled it and gave the problem to my opponent. I guess he's worried. He's worried about cracking, but he has 4s, 5s, and 6s out, and then it's gonna, at least on the dances, it's gonna be like huge pass. So that seemed weird. That seemed like an opportunity there, especially at this score where doubled gammons are extremely valuable. I mean, I see all the problems black has, but most of the time he's going to be like too good, I think. Okay, so now Barry gets the good sequence. Looks like he's playing on for the gammon here. Pretty reasonable. Okay, this is good. At least 0 shots, and again spreads everything else out nicely. Guess 3-3 doesn't hit. They definitely do not double this. Good, perfect. Okay, this is perfect. Gets 4 builders for the points. Fortunately, he rolls a really bad number. I don't think I'd be slotting it here. Yeah, I guess you're stuck doing this. Not too bad. Still have okay spares, I guess. Yeah, I guess I would not hit loose here. Even though you could argue it wins slightly more gammons, maybe. So this and 6 to 5 is probably safest. Definitely safer than hitting. Yeah, you do pretty well for the gammon just by playing safely. It's this awesome 5-point board. If black's board is weaker, then it would probably hit there with the 4-1. If it was a 4-point board, I think I'd probably go for it. Claim to win more gammons. Although I think doubled gammons probably, undoubled gammons probably are not very valuable at this score, I'm guessing. All right, but it looks like he's bringing home the gammon. will be likely be 5-3, 2 away, 4 away. I guess we'll stick with this match, and we'll see how these guys handle the cube at this kind of interesting score. Like Dougie should be extremely, extremely aggressive if he has like any gammon threat at all. Like I was saying earlier, 15% gammons take the white's take point is going to be 35%. Just from like 15% gammons, like it's just kind of like a slightly above average number of gammons. Okay, yeah, Dougie. Okay, so Dougie goes with the slot, trying to build up a quick gammonish position. I like it. I like it at the score. He's not picking up his dice for some reason. Maybe he's having some technical issues. Yeah, but I think the slotting will tend to win more gammons at this score. Not after the 6-6. Wonder if you'd rather have this than a 4-4. No, I guess you'd rather have the 4-4. And Dougie gets the 4-4. He's gonna play 13-5. Dare White to leave the anchor to hit at this score? No, okay, no. He just plays it. He just plays it safely and solidly. There's probably something a little better there, but Dougie's play isn't bad. Okay. Okay. 5-4. I think you can make the 3-point here if you want. This is okay too. You make the 3 and White rolls like a 1-2. I don't think he's really supposed to hit at this score. 1-4 seems like an okay hit. Although it's a lot of blots. I wonder if maybe you can. I was gonna say maybe you can cube that actually at this 4 away, 2 away score. Might have been worth a thought. I mean, he's like the game's probably 50-50 and Black wins a ton of gammons. It's a little hard to lose the market big though. You need like a hit dance sequence or something, or hit really bad entry. Okay, 4-1 by Dougie. Okay, he's getting the backman going a little bit. It's not gonna work. I assume Barry's playing 13-7, 13-9. This does look best. Okay, Dougie gets to put his stuff together and then maintain sort of maximal contact in the outfield. Okay, Barry needs to play safely. I don't think you can make the 2 here. Yeah, this is too many shots. Like Black and maybe you do the other one, Black and maybe even cube it at the score. This is a good play. Alrighty. I don't know if I could stomach 7-1. Yeah, I would do this. I guess. I don't know. Oh, great shot by Barry. All right, so Dougie's take point is 18.5 according to the XG match equity table. So this should go double pass, I believe. Now, Dougie, I believe, thinks the take point is 17 at the score because he's using like he has the old match equity table in his head. So it went from 17, old school take point 17 at the score. XG take points 18.5. I think Dougie's old school, so he might. I mean, it could be around 17 here with the contacts, but even so, it's probably less than 17. So I think Dougie's going to pass this because I mean the race is obviously almost out of reach. And okay, so Black does get some hits here, but White's position looks reasonably flexible to me. So I don't know if Black's even hitting like, I don't know, 10 to 15% here or something. He doesn't win all the hits. So yeah, double pass seems correct there. A little tempting, especially if you think your take point 17 and not 18.5. But still, even at 17, I think it's a pass. Okay, well, Dougie's, yeah, I mean, for score reverse, you'd make the 20, so you never get gammons. Gammons help Dougie and they don't help Barry, so yeah, I would do something more offensive like what Dougie did. Although maybe you could even stay all the way back, since it seemed that the 22-point anchor isn't very good. He maybe could have stayed all the way back and played 13 to 11 squared, 6 to 4 squared. Put sort of maximal pressure on white. So white did manage to escape. This looks like good technique by Barry, stripping the midpoint, getting ready to clear it on some numbers, like a 6-5, maybe even like a 5-2 or whatever. Okay, Dougie's keeping his mid, very nice. Barry's filling in the 5. Oh, this is kind of awkward, but it's all right. You don't want to roll that again, although it's actually, see, you can safe play if you roll it again. Yeah, I wouldn't leave anything here. Black's board is perfect, and yes, and black has to make some concession now, somewhere. Like a black, maybe you can, I mean, I still wouldn't, but maybe you could justify leaving a shot there if like black had if black had like a spare in his midpoint instead of the checker on his ace point, because black doesn't have to make some concession next roll. But still, white has such a decent chance to come home without leaving anything that, or just leaving like a couple shots that, yeah, I guess you still don't clear the midpoint there. Okay, so with the 3-2, yeah, the 3-2, okay, he considered leaving 4 shots to clear the midpoint, but decided against it. Yeah, four shots a little expensive there. 2 blots, 4 shots. So I don't know, but Barry's play has a lot of merit. Okay, it gets away with just leaving, leaving 3 shots in the outfield there. Okay, so obviously 7 and I'm not sure between putting a guy on the 2, getting nice distribution, or playing 5-1. Oh, how is this a blot? I guess the other one was right. Boy, 6-3 is a weird blot number here. Yeah, the other play would have worked out better. Yeah, I didn't see that either. I would just think it's sort of in general terms, where you don't want the 2 checkers on the same, you don't want the 2 spares on the same point. You want them split up, right? Just to have more. Generally speaking, you have more options on the next roll. And apparently, there the options were a little bit definitive due to the presence of that 6-3. All right. Anyways, it got a little bit of a raise, but this is tough going for Dougie. Why don't we take a little look at this, and then we'll see where we're at with the tournament. But yeah, we can load this into XG and take a look at some of these decisions. Yeah, I don't know if Dougie's actually thinking about this 4-1, or he's just pausing for some other reason. But yeah, well, you need to get. I mean, if you can win, you're going to want to maximize crossovers. So she should have got a crossover there. Not that he can really win this. He might have actually had a tiny chance to win if he maximized crossovers there. Okay, congrats to Barry, who is in the finals. And then let's take a look at the XG analysis. We'll put Barry on the bottom. Okie dokie. Like the 4-4 game. I'm sorry, the 4-away game. It looks like messy business here. But yeah, it's a huge double here. I mean, it's such a huge double, partly due to the score, where the black wins a lot more gammons than white does. And so when you double to 2, both players are 4 away, and so doubled gammons are very valuable for a 4-way player. So the bigger the disparity in the gammons, like the more aggressive you should be at this score. So that's why the computer says you must double this as black. And then 5-4, yeah, you pop out here. The computer loves doing this. I mean, Barry's play superficially is like kind of productive. You're playing 13-8, which maybe you kind of want to do. But if you pop out to the 16, Like a lot of these numbers, like 1, 2, for instance, you can make your 5 point, which actually you probably would make his 5 point here. But you have to forgo hitting with the 2 in order to do it. And then like you make your 5, say, and then black gets a direct shot at you. Whereas like here, like all the point making numbers, they do great, right? I think there's just tons of attack stuff. So I think of it a little bit as like distraction. When you pop out here. It's a very common theme. And yeah, and black's forces are a little separated here. Yeah, so here, I guess here's a little different, but I see. Yeah, this play looks weird. Like if you're not gonna jump out, you should make the anchor and probably kill a checker. But Barry's play leaves them exposed on both sides of the board. Yeah, so this is really bad. Yeah, it's kind of an old concept where you don't want to leave yourself exposed on both sides of the board, and this definitely does it. Yeah, white should even cube this. Does find a decent play here. 11 to 8, 7 to 2. Seems like he does want to hit to try to get a blitz going and keep black from putting his position together or anchoring or escaping or something. And actually, there's no good way. There's probably no good way to play it without hitting. 3-5. Yeah, bar 24-1 or bar 25-2 is probably better than what Barry did, leaving himself open to attack. A double take here. It should go double take. Well, yeah, then what about doubling after a dance? Oh, so it's almost too good. It's like closer to too good. Yeah. Yeah, no, this makes sense. Yeah, double humongous pass at the score. Yes, I don't know. Dougie might have been thinking too good here. I mean, black wins a lot. It's just the gammons are through the roof, and his four-way. Like this wouldn't be. I mean, it's pretty bad money take too. But it wouldn't be so ridiculous to take this for money, right? See how much the score matters in this super gammonish position. Okay, so it's a pass, but it's only a pass by 0.1 something. At 4-away, this is white on roll. 4-away. It's a pass by like 1.0. You know, so over a 0.9 blunder to take this. Woof. Well, kind of unusual. I mean, to see such a huge pass in such sort of an unclear position. Like, I think some people are taking this. Like, it wasn't honestly, it wasn't immediately obvious to me it was a pass, but I'm pretty confident I would have found a pass. But I don't know. I mean, white is still pretty well trapped. And if he rolls badly, he's probably overrunning the front position a little bit. It's just, I don't know, you win close to 50% gammons. One thing I like to do sometimes, and I'm not great at estimating gammon percentages, but sometimes what I like to do, and especially helpful like in money play, where if you're offered a gammonish cube, ask yourself whether you're 100% sure you lose fewer than 50% gammons. And if you're not like 100% sure of that, it's kind of hard for it to be a take, you know? I mean, don't get me wrong, just because you're not 100% sure of it doesn't mean, you know, you could lose 40% gammon. What I'm saying is like if it's gammonish enough that you're not super sure about what side of 50% the gammons are on, then it's, I don't know, how can that be a take, you know? Like even if you're winning 30+% or whatever, it's still likely going to be a pass. So I find this helpful thinking in those terms. Even though like I rarely try to estimate the gammons, I find thinking in those terms sometimes brings things into focus. Anyways, let's take a look at Brad and John now. We should go back to Backgammon Hub. We will put Brad on the bottom. Oh, that's another 5-3 score. Every match we look at has this 2-away, 4-away score. But it looks like looks like Sean's in control here. He's doubled. He's not very likely not to win a gammon, but he's pretty likely to win the game here. So that guy's going to be two-way, two-way. Okay, this looks like good technique, keeping the builder spread out. Sort of wastes a pip, but yeah, you don't want the semi gap in the middle of the board after if you brought in the 6 and ripped the 5. Okay, anyways. Okay, Brad fills in the gap appropriately, I think. Good. I wonder if these guys have auto bear off on. I always have auto bear off on. Okay, I think this is what you do with 3 checkers left, because it works on double 3s. That's how I remember it. The other one doesn't work on double 3s. But I think even irrespective of the double 3s, I think it's better for getting off in 2. All right, so yeah, you can double right away at the score. It's fine. You hit once with this on the 4 points. Or he runs, yeah. So the standard play there is 13 to 4. I think John's thinking a little bit about the score where gammons don't matter. So he takes more of a simple running approach as opposed to attacking approach. So John's play isn't as bad as it is for money, but I think it's still wrong. I think. Maybe it's like a real error. Not a huge error, but like, over 0.02, say. So double match point. What did he roll? 3. Must have been a 3-4. Or was it 3-2 or 3-4? Oh, and then 5-4. Yeah. Yeah, John's play appears to be wrong by 0.03 or so. Yeah. Anyways, okay, so all right, decent roll by Brad. It's okay, anyways. I would do this. Okay, yeah, I guess you do this, but you're down in the race, so there's some doubt in my mind. Maybe play 13 to 5 even. Just don't get hit in the outfield, and you don't take this running approach where you're down. Like if you could escape cleanly with a 6-5, I guess you would do it. Now the black's escaped. I don't know. He's down 12, so like he's hanging back, hoping to hit a shot later, rather than take this running approach. What about making the ace here? I'd make the ace here. Try to take white a little more out of the race, Like, I don't know, white could roll 6-5 again. You want to take away those 11 pips. So I think it's worth the risk, especially because white's board is weak and white has that blot. All right, now he's got to stay all the way back. And then, yeah, this is fine. Okay, but this gives black an opportunity to do this, while white has the 2 blots in his board. So actually, just leaving 1 blot might have been okay for white also. White's plays, this is sort of the quickest way to build up a strong board. Okay, now he's thinking, okay, I might be hitting him next roll, so I'm gonna put a position together. 5 to 2 to 1 is a play. We could stack the 8, but that lets white build. Put his board together. There's no shots though. This is 2 shots. I wonder if he's considering 5 to 2 to 1. Which is 2 shots also. Okay, he's leaving nothing, it looks like. Huh. I wonder if he considered hitting. Like, that might have been my play, actually. He's going to leave a shot here with the bad 6. Oh, John, oh my goodness. Wow. And then, yeah, this I would probably do this also, even though black might be coming in and hitting. But I really like, okay. So you can make the ace here, but the backman's a little stuck. So John sort of, maybe appropriately makes the 6 prime and gets the backman going. The problem there was a good play. Just never gets stuck. Yeah, I get like hitting here. There's a little bit of risk that black hits and then white gets counter prime, but black can't really do that with the 3 checkers on the ace point. So yeah, John's play absolutely was correct there. Like if black had like a real 6 prime somewhere, then you'd think twice about it. Even like a solid 4 or 5 prime. Oh, don't do this. You're gonna clear the 6 here. You don't have to worry about the race. Yeah, clearing the 6 was definitely safer there. But it would not matter. Maybe he was just a little worried about clearing the 6, and the black comes in with 6-6 and then wins the race somehow. I don't know, black having the checkers in the outfield, that's like no big deal. Alright, so good job, Johnny, who will win the side pool, because I think Barry is not in the side pool. We'll take a look at the finals. Take a look at John and Barry in the finals. This would be a 9-point match. So like it's all 7-point matches up to the finals. We have a 9er. Yeah, I played okay against Barry, but I somehow I did something that like I hardly ever do anymore. It was like we were playing, got into like a race, and then like I forgot about the cube for a roll. And like I missed a double pass, but actually it just went double pass the next roll, so it didn't really hurt me, I guess. Anyways, let's take a look. So where do we come in? The throw. We came in at the 3-5 game, I guess. So where did it look at? What's going on here? Okay, so John is 4 away. Brad is 2 away. And he doubles this because it's like, he thinks it's gammonish and is 4 away, 2 away. It is a little gammonish, but he's losing, I guess. White's losing. Which isn't to say it can't be a cube at the score when you're losing 4 away, 2 away, but it's going to be miles away from a pass, yeah. So it does not, the computer does not like cubing this, but it's not a huge deal. What's wrong with this 4-4? Oh, it doesn't like leaving it doesn't like leaving a double shot in the outfield even to make the 5. Letting black sort of play come home. So I guess you're supposed to play what, 13-5? Yeah, 13-5, 20-16, not getting hit in the outfield, still maintaining decent defensive structure. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Okay, 13-4 or make the 2. And 13-4 is actually better here, I think. I don't think the computer understands this. Yeah, 13-4 is probably a little better, a little more flexible. You don't want to put 2 guys kind of dead behind the anchor. It's quite close though, according to ++. And I think you do want to strip the midpoint so you can clear it with like a 6-2 next roll. Oh, I see what the computer's thinking. Okay, yeah, no, you make the 2. Making the 2 is okay because white's running off an anchor sometimes next roll. I see. Yeah, that makes sense. Right, like you want the position because you're gonna be hitting white some next roll. If white rolls higher than a 7, say, like he's gonna be running off the anchor most of the time. So that's an okay play, making the 2 there, but more flexible. Make it more flexible is this. Anyways. Yeah, boy, John really pulled that one from the fire. Okay. Anyways, let's watch the match. The finals. Okay, got John on the bottom, Barry on the top. think John watches these streams sometimes, so we'll keep John on the bottom. I'm not sure if Barry does. Okay, making the three is probably a little better there after hitting, because you keep the 8 points and you unstack the heavy 6 point. Now sometimes still the 5 is going to be better, but I think maybe the 8 point has like extra value there because the black checker on the 23. What about? It feels like there might have been a cube in there somewhere. Like you cube this. Yeah, I don't understand not cubing this. Like this is obviously a take. I don't know. So why not cube that? It's probably not a take. Like obviously white has this massive edge, right? So and some decent threats where he attacks. Ooh, this bad. I maybe didn't realize he was leaving a direct there. Like he could have just made the 10 if he wanted to do something like this. Okay, now I'm taking with the 2 anchors, and then I'm not sure how to play it though. Okay, there is the safe option which he goes with. With the 2 black blots though, there might be something else. And this looks better than what he first did, but I wonder if there's something where you make the 3 points. Oh, then the last one's a little bad though. I'm just thinking white's not going to be like too keen to like give up his front anchor to hit. Here he might do it because he gets to cover. But even so, think about not hitting there and just playing a normal sort of back game. But I would have ended up playing like Brad did, I'm pretty sure. But it seemed like there was an opportunity in there to cube. All right. Yeah, it seems like a fairly easy take. Okay, so Brad holds off. Gets to make his oh no. Yeah, so this might be right. Oh, the 15 to 3 is legal also. What if he saw it and liked this better? But I don't know. He's leaving a shot in the outfield and on the 3 points. So maybe he just missed it. Ooh, great shot, Jesus. Okay, I would double this also. I don't know about this checker play, but it seems to be working. I would pick and pass, I believe. Keep him from making the second anchor. Not leaving 12 crushing shots. Not completely crushing, but pretty strong shots. So yeah, that was good play. That was a good play by Barry. Okay, Barry owns the cube here. I don't know, when did the cube go over? Oh, the cube came over here. I see. Yeah, this is when I said, oh, it looks like a pretty easy take. Yeah, pretty reasonable cube though. Oh. Oh, great shot. Oh, great shot. Be interesting if they missed there and then Barry gets sort of consider cubing. Although there's so much contact that probably wouldn't be right. Give John this powerful 4 cube. Okay. Yeah, this looks odd to me. I think he should be focusing on making the 9 point. So this looks more like it, although there's a better play. I think you jump out with the 5 and then play. Yeah, I think you do this to keep the checkers on different points. I kind of like this plan because it's only a 2-point board on the other side of the board. Obviously, there's like other stuff you can do, but it seems pretty reasonable to like slot when it's only a 2 or 1 point board on the other side. And then maybe you. Okay, no, he's losing his nerve a little bit. Oh, I see. He wants to spread things out on the outfield and keep a checker back. Okay, good. This actually might be a little wrong because instead of spending the 2 to make the 2 point, you can spend the 2 to slot the back of the 6 prime. Like you can put a checker on the 8 point and threaten to make a 6 prime. Here it's like a little hard to make a 6 prime. So there might have been another option with that 5-5 that John didn't consider. Okay, decent shot by Barry. Good best non-jump number, I would think. All right, so you hit and spread things out. This is a little bit worse, maybe. Oh, is he going to slot again? He could play 13 to 7 again. I actually would do that. Just like, I don't know. Usually he doesn't roll a 6, and when he does, you get another checker sent back, and you get you still have like lots of ways to hit the checker as it comes around. Okay, it looks like it came around to slotting though. Good. Yeah, this is fine. You can also bring the guy into the 6 if you want, but this gives him more loose hit numbers. He just puts him out of his misery. Spare ends up spare in the 5 is good. So spare ends up in a pretty decent spot. Actually, spares end up almost perfect or almost perfect here. 6-5-3 is pretty good. Probably you want 6-5-4. But this 6-5-3 is a little safer. You got 6-5-4 because you lose fewer raises that way. You can kind of keep your board longer. All right, I think this is right, although I would certainly consider ripping 2 checkers there if the raise is close enough. Okay, I would do this as well. It's not that good. Yeah, it turned out pretty close. Barry could win it with a double on the last note. John preempts that. Okay. All right, so it's 2-zip. John is up. Black is up. Okay, assume the 21 seems more important than the 3 here, so I would play it like this. Barry, 13 to 8, 23 to 22 seems to be pretty reasonable looking. Good. Yeah, and then 9 points okay, but I think 4-4 is better here. You got like kind of these awkward stacks on the 8 and 6 points. If he was already anchored on the 22 points, I think I'd still prefer the 4 to the 9, but the 9 would have a ton more value in that case because it's sort of like maximal block on the 22 point anchor. Like he'd love his 9 point here. 7 points a decent backup though. Okay, 8 to 3, I guess. Yeah, 13 to 4, 13 to 8, 6 to 2. Oh, I wouldn't do this. Yeah, now this, I mean, I see what John is thinking. Like, Barry's board is really underdeveloped and has a blot, but a midpoint's like a good asset, I think. So, I think it's not too bad to play 6 to 2 there. Keep the asset in the outfield, not leave any shots. Ooh, pretty decent shot. Not that I know how to play it. Probably you want to play 20 squared, 11 squared. Hitting just looks like it's a double shot for not enough gain, and you're forgoing making your 11. You know, so I think this was too risky. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. All right, John, should John be doubling that? John maybe should have doubled that. Look at those 2 zips, so John should be a little conservative. It looked like a pretty powerful, thing. 5-1, yeah, probably would have made the 3-point there, but I didn't take a great look at it. Yeah, you could reasonably cube this also. Obviously, white has a bunch of ways to win this, though. Okay, 4-2. Okay, good. Yes, it's a little awkward for black to bring this home. So I think that's why black isn't cubing. Plus the 2-0 score. I don't know. Is it? It's not that clear to me. It's some huge take though. Because 1-5 back game tends to be really bad. So I'm not really that clear on what's going on here. Yeah, it's pretty big. Yeah, white definitely preferred just rolling a 1-2 there. Okay, so now I'm sending it because I don't know if I want to take this anymore with white's screwed up front position. Okay, the Barry scoops it up. Yeah, I don't know about that. Timing looks really bad now. 2-1's decent. 1-1 is decent. 4-1. Okay, keeps the deep anchor. Keeps both anchors for a roll. Probably wants to run off the front. Can't do it. Maybe you can keep both anchors again though. Okay, pretty reasonable. Okay, 5. Oh, is he playing? He might be playing a 7-2, 6-3 here. Even after he gets hit, white's still pretty trapped. Well, the white should be quite aggressive with the recube at this score. I wouldn't cube this though. Yeah, I don't like too many shots and blots here, John. Good. Okay, I'm anchoring up, I guess. Don't give black that option to like really pound you. Good. He can slide control. Threaten to make a 6' here by playing 5-1. He does it. 3-2 is a little awkward. Yeah, so the two is 3-1, and then you can either make it or play 6-3. Play 6-3. 3-1. Did you make the 5 here? I wonder. I mean, probably not, but seems like a candidate to me. Because even when you don't get hit, you're very happy. When you do get hit, the guy's still kind of trapped. And you're going to enter sometimes right away. I used to do that a lot. I used to like just fill in that last point and say, you're not hitting 2/3 of the time. But it's usually wrong. Especially against like a 5-point board, you know. So I think that's what John was thinking. I don't want to do that against a 5-point board. He's probably right. And his play was fairly robust, even though it was a little gappy. I could have stayed back there another turn. I don't think the Gammon danger is. There's only like 3 or 4 checkers off there. Again, it didn't look like much Gammon danger. He could have stayed back another roll. Maybe got a little bit of extra wins. Still pretty hard to win though. He has a few percent maybe. All right, but anyways, it is a single game win. It's going to be 4-zip. Okay, definitely split here is John trying to tamp the gammas down a little bit at this score where I'm way ahead. Yeah, what do I know? A good play there, locking up the nice asset in the outfield. Okay, so yeah, you hit with the 1. I suppose 13 ace correct, although hitting again on the ace points will play there too. Can't really fault either play. Okay, Barry looks like he's taking this running. You could play 16-5, but I kind of like the other plan better because of the board disparity. You know, you're all bored at 3-1. You should err on like a more conservative more conservative play. And white was up in the race a little bit after the 6-5. Okay, he's got to leave a shot here. So he leaves it in the outfield, kind of duplicating fours a little bit. Okay. No, I guess I would. I don't know. I was gonna say I guess I would hit here, but it's 5s, 4s, and 2s to hit back. So 24 to 18, you're kind of getting pounded anyways. But you keep all the outfield structure. Maybe 24 to 18 is slightly better. Oh, 13 to 7. Yeah, that's probably better than 11 to 5. Oh yeah, then the cube is probably coming over after any play. Oh, there's a little bit dicey because it's 4-zip. Okay, but he passes anyways. You'd have to think about that one. Yeah, neither decision there seemed that clear to me. Which maybe means it's a double. Double pass or double take. Okay, Johnny with the 2-2. For money, I'd be a little tempted to play 13 to 11 squared, 6 to 4 squared. At the score where you're up 5-zip, maybe I'll play a little conservatively and make some sort of anchor, So this, or make the anchor and play and make the 4 points. Or you could even just make the 20 points, so you're never gammoning me. Good luck getting into gammonish cubes. This is pretty reasonable at the score, I think. Sort of like a hybrid, though. Yeah, don't do this. This is bad. You can lock up 2 good points somewhere. So making this cheesy loose hit, that might not work. You definitely want either the really good 20 point, or you want 2 good points somewhere. So I think John's play is pretty reasonable after all. Usually you'd prefer the 4 point to the 11 point, and maybe you would here too, but the 11 point is sort of attractive here because of the distribution, right? There's 5 guys on the mid and 4 guys on the 6. So you're stripping your 6 point when you make the 4, and you're unstacking the heavy midpoint when you make the 11. So John's play could have been right there. All right, black on roll. In non-gammonish positions, I think Barry needs actually to be pretty careful about taking, even though he's down in the match hugely. It's just because John's 4 away. Now there are some gammons here, so I guess it's no double take, but I don't know. White doesn't win a lot of gammons though. And black does, which is sort of it's sort of an okay argument for doubling. But white's up in the race, so I can see why John held off there. Yeah, definitely would have taken as white. Anyways, we get an exchange of hits. Now Barry appears to be in control, and he's got some decent attack stuff, and he's down 0-5, and there's some gammons here, so white should cube this. Yeah, this is pretty big missed opportunity there. And here, there's a better. What about making the 5 and then switching to the 3, leaving a few shots, but really starting this real attack? It's a little more complicated than it looks, maybe because there's an upcoming cube. And I guess I would let this go. Give him a point. Take for money, pass at the score, maybe. Don't want to risk losing 4 after a good white number. Okay, so he takes. Interesting. See how Barry wants to play this. There's a pretty safe play where you play 14 to 11, 8 to 3 for 6 shots. You could hit. Really up the gamut, but it's a ton of blots and shots. Oh, I got punished for the safe play. Jesus. See, John has the option to redouble at some point, but it's gonna be a little tough to get in a cube at this score. Well, let's see. You can pass and go to 2 away, 9 away, which is what? 9, it's 10% maybe. So take point's a little higher than that. Yeah, take point's probably like 12 or something. Interesting. Yeah, so maybe if he runs, this is actually double pass. He does win a little more by staying back. And there's some gammons here. So the cube action's a little unclear here. I guess it seems a little weird to cube. Not a ton of gammons though. And it's not that clear white wins 12 plus. Okay, passes in place from 2 away, 9 away. Which I'm pretty sure is like 99. Is pretty sure it's about 10%. Now he gets to redouble to 8 right away. And if that meant the match, if he was playing it out for the match, the take point would be exactly 8%. But he's not 100%. Like if Barry took that and then redoubled to 8 and won, he wouldn't be 100% in the match. So that's why the take point's a little higher than 10% there. Even though I'm pretty sure I have the equity from 2 away, 9 away correct. You can just check. You can just double check with XG there. 2 away, 9 away. Yeah, 90%. So it's, yeah, 10% if he passes. All right, so Barry gets some decent 3-3s. Probably just making the 2, I would assume. Good. Put some teeth into his position. I wonder if he had 12% there. Oof, 4-2. Kind of keeps all checkers alive by playing 5-1, 5-3. Let's see. The only other option really is 13-9, 13-11. Okay, but he goes with this. He keeps the outfield structure. The board is pretty bad, but I guess he can put it back together a little bit. Okay, decent 6-2 by Barry. 6-3 by John, who needs some flexibility. And there's no safe play anyways. So this looks as good as anything, maybe. So what else can you do? 8-2, 8-5. Well, that duplicates ones, although it's two blots. I think I would go with John's first play. Oh, this doesn't duplicate anything. Okay, gets away with it. Do not run off the anchor here, giving black extra attack stuff. So this is a good play. Yeah, like this. I mean, there's pointing numbers and there's like pick and pass stuff. So I guess I would hold the fort like Barry did for a roll. He's only up in the race by a small, in the pip count, only by a tiny bit. All right, this is pretty crunchy, but can keep a 4-point board, I guess. And I would not kill more checkers here. Yeah, I would probably do something like this. Or instead of playing 4-1, maybe you could play 6-3 or something. Alrighty, this looks decent. Not much risk. Great shot by Barry. This looks a little difficult to bring home, but I guess so is the other option. 1, 2, 3. The other one might have been worth a look. But probably Barry played this correctly. Yeah, no way I'm passing this. There's a lot of good contact here. And some race. Double's okay, maybe. It's the double. The double's the question there, though. All right, 5-1. Good. Oh, it looks like Barry might be getting 2 points here. We'll see. Or John's taking home the crown. Okay, he does fill in the little gap there. Yeah, I kind of like it. I probably would not do this because they have 2 checkers on the 5 is probably enough. So I probably would have gotten 2 crossovers there. The guy on the 7 isn't very efficient, I think. You just have one guy on the 7 and then you roll like a big number. You roll like a 6-5 and you got to put him deep. You got to put him to an inefficient spot. So I kind of didn't like how John played that 6-5. Although it's not a big error by any means. Yeah, he's hitting the gap. Good. Okay, so 7-2. So 7 away, 2 away. Okay, Barry starts off with a good gammonish play. 6-6. White on roll. Usually you're supposed to split here after your opponent rolls 6-6. So probably, I think there's something better there. So 24-21, 13-11 maybe is best. You don't love leaving the blot in the outfield, but he's got to give up his anchor to hit against the stronger board if he rolls like a 4, and the 4s are duplicated. And it's important to split. It's important to split after your opponent rolls 6-6 in the opening like that, because you can be blocked and he can't. So, and you know, Black only had a 1-point board there, so it wasn't super dangerous to split. So that's what you want to do. You want to get the backman going there. Oh, a little tough for a 1 here. 5-3. Okay, it's coming in, and I assume hitting off the 4 points. Oh, great shot by Barry. Yeah, I would just swing away here, hope for the best. Double a bad number by Black. Maybe double it dance anyways. Yeah, this is sort of the game plan that White wants to play. Sort of a mutually gammonish thing where Black's not going to be able to get in the cube in a gammonish position, but White certainly can. So if White just plays all crazy, swinging away up in the gammons for both sides, it sort of means White gets more value from the cube than Black does. So that's why you want to play like a little gammon go. When you're many away and your opponent's 2 away, you kind of like these wild and woolly. Gammonish games. Well, it says tremendous. What is Black doing though? Why not just swing away? Why not just make 2 interboard points here? This looks really weird to me. That seems like a massive blunder. Yeah, that was crazy. I don't know if maybe like he's thinking like White had points in there or something. But that seems really odd to me. Yeah, why not just make the 1 in the 3 or the 2 in the 3? Probably the 2 in the 3. Yeah, John was thinking, oh, something there that he shouldn't have been thinking about. Oh, brain fart maybe. Alrighty. Black on roll. Okay, Barry does not double that because he thinks he's not winning by very much and he has kind of a point. It's not super gammonish. I mean, on the other hand, John's not going to get any recube vig. So White can still be fairly aggressive there, I assume. Take points probably money-like in terms of just raw percentages, like ignoring gammons. Yeah, once again, you could cube this if you wanted. Would not have passed as White though. Yeah, I like it. Decent builders for the 3, especially when Black steps up. See if he wants to cube this one. Now he's about to make a 6 prime, and now he's not supposed to like filling his 4-point a lot, you know? So maybe it's pretty important to cube that. Because you feel in your 4-point is like too late to get any value from the cube. And he should probably be hitting here actually with the 3. This gives black jumping numbers and attacking numbers. So probably play 10 to 5, 7 to 4 here is best. Yeah, you're down in the race too. You don't want to give black a chance to turn this into a race. And black has the blot in his board. So this is a pretty big error, I think. And he gets punished for it. Yeah, boy, hitting would have worked brilliantly. Okay, a little clever play by John. How does he make black crack though? Huh. 7 to 4 here, I don't think so. I mean, I assume he's hitting the guy on the 23 and then doing something with the other 2. That way he's sort of at the edge of the prime when black rolls some sort of cracking number. So maybe that's it. Maybe, yeah, this could work also if black entered the 1s, but but black's very happy to enter with a 4, I guess, and you know, white has some extra timing here where you can break the 8-point and still have like a pretty good front position. So I don't know, but I think I would have hit on the 23 and then like distributed, not hitting the guy on the 4 at all. But it's sort of a tough play though. Okay, now he's coming to the edge because black did have to break his. I don't know. What do I know? And his plan worked perfectly. Okay, and he gets a good cube in this gammonish position, and John reasonably passes because it's super gammonish. Yeah, that was interesting. Okay, now 6 away, 2 away. Barry trying to mount a comeback. Oh, this looks natural to me. I don't know. There's lots of options there, including like making the 5, which I don't particularly like at the match score though. All right, so he hits and split again. Looks okay. 13 to 9 is obviously a play with the 4 also. 3-1. Okay, yeah, I should. Yeah, this is good at the score. Where you're sort of paying the player is 2 away is sort of paying a lot more to the gammons because of the cube implications. So it's good to make the 20-point anchor there. Really just cut way down on the gammons. Yeah, this looks all right. Yeah, you do want to get the guy going, so I like it. 4-4. Okay, so he's up 5 after the roll, so this looks appropriate to get the anchor moving, and you're putting good pressure on the outfield blot. Woof. There's a good play by John there. I don't know. Okay, he minimizes shots, pretty reasonable. Not sure how that compares to making the 5 though. Probably Barry did the right thing, because it looks like John is really happy to hit even after white makes the 5. Okay, yeah, this looks pretty decent. 4-4. He's glad he moved off the 16-point, that's for sure. Now, normally I would slot the 5 here, but white might be hitting next roll, so I do like how Barry played this, keeping fewer blots and making nice structure in the outfield. Okay, 2-1. I'd probably just lock up the 3 at this point. Now he's probably not hitting. Oh no, he might be hitting because black's going after him. 4-1. There's only 2 shots to do this. 4 shots to do this. I kind of like it. Ooh, great shot. And then double a dance into his gammonish position. Ooh, it makes a 6 prime. His 6 prime didn't hold last game, so let's see what Barry can do this game. Yeah, take points. Take point for white is I think it's on 22.5 or something, which he probably does have. This is a little unclear. Yeah, maybe actually maybe didn't have it. Yeah, I'd have to take a good look at that one. Now this is either too good or double pass. Okay, it's gonna go double pass. Yeah, so like John should be splitting here, which because gammas only go one way, and gammas are fairly valuable for white. So by splitting, you win fewer gammas and you lose fewer gammons because you don't have much of a front position, and you're gonna make the 20-point anchor a lot. But if he feels like he can outplay his opponent, he probably does have a bit of an edge on Barry. So I guess his play does complicate the game a little more. That might have been what he was thinking. Good. Oh no, Barry does watch. Just remember, Barry does watch these videos. Yes, no, sometimes he joins the chat actually. So I actually maybe should have put Barry on the bottom. Next time I'll put Barry on the bottom. Okay, yeah. This play's okay, I guess, if you do this. I mean, hitting's obviously a decent candidate here also. It doesn't lose more gammas, it wins more games to hit there. But okay, but pretty reasonably, like it wants to keep his 20-point anchor, so black didn't hit there. Okay, 5-2. There's no reasonable hits. So let's see. He's probably playing 16-9, I would assume. Oh, he can make the 11-point also. No, making the 11 point's a real play there too. 11-point. In fact, that might have been better. Giving up the midpoint, but making the 11-point, which bears on the inner board. I think it's fairly close though. 4-1 is pretty bad for Barry. So something's got to go. Not the anchor, I'm pretty sure. Oh, 13-8. I think 13-8 is pretty good here. Sort of gets flexibility for days and keeps the most important points. I think the most important points, anyways. Good landing spots, good block. Good attack if black runs. So I do like this. I guess punished for it. Now I assume black is hitting now, right? Even though he's got the blot in his board, it's just there's nothing productive really. And white has the blot, and white only has a 3-point board with a blot, so I think it's worth it here to hit. John might be thinking that gammons are extremely valuable for white, but I don't think the gammons are super duper valuable at this score. No, I would not hit. 2 blots and white's board is now together. Yeah, it looked like there was maybe an opportunity in there to try to win the match, though. Okay, so 2-2. Okay, it looks like you're getting the backmen going a little bit. At least a little bit. Okay, so I would play 20-18 squared, 13-9, and then dare black to hit with like a 4-1. Okay, but Barry escapes a little bit more. Oh, I can hit again if he wants. Okay, so he goes for it this time because this might be his last. It might be his last chance. Okay, but Barry rolls a nice 5-5, bringing the guy around. Okay, yeah, this is fine, but I would think a little bit there about not making the 1 and slotting the 5 because I don't know if white's supposed to volunteer shots with anything. Even after you leave a couple blots in your board. But anyways, John just rolls 6-6 nicely, and then 6, and then I think you are supposed to play 6-5 here. Forgo the crossover because the gap on the 5 that's going to form if you just leave one guy there is just too painful with like 5 or 6 guys on the 6-point, So I think that was good technique by John. This is not good technique. That was a misclick. Yeah, this is good technique. All right, so John is going to take this one most likely, and we will take a look at the XG analysis. Maybe. Can Barry make it close? He's gonna have a chance. Twos are better. No, I couldn't quite do it. Close, very close. Yeah, it's a little bit of a comeback going there. A little bit. It wasn't meant to be though. Okie dokie. Yeah, okay, we got John on the bottom, Barry on the top. Oh yeah, this is about where we came in, I think. Yeah, 3-3. Yeah, Barry's play is pretty reasonable, making the 5 and not the 3. It's just, sometimes it's close, right? Which point you want. So obviously he's hitting with 2 of them. Although actually there's another play apparently. But you hit with the first 2, and then you think, okay, what point do I want? Obviously the 5 is better than the 3. But you get to, if you make the 3, you get to unstack the heavy 6 point. And you keep your 8 point. Oh, there's another factor also, which I didn't see at the time. The 11 point is made. That's kind of key, I think. That's kind of key. Because you make the 5 point, like Barry did. This 11 point goes down in value because it's not bearing on the open 5 point, right? So although you'd rather have the 5 than the 3, there's all these arguments for making the 3 and not the 5, and apparently it adds up to just enough according to the computer to make the 3 correct. With the 11 point made, I would have thought it'd be even more correct. Like I thought it'd be correct by more to make the 3, to be honest. Not a blunder, but 0.05 or worse. But apparently it's only 0.02. Yes, a pass already. This is a this was a take. Yeah, Barry's missing some cubes here. Like I would never not double this, because like, I don't know. I mean, there's 2 ways to look at it, right? Like, I don't know. Are you sure Black has a take here? I wouldn't be. In fact, I might have even passed as Black with this underdeveloped front position. So if you think it might be a pass already, why not cube it? And even if you're wrong, the guy might pass, right? If you're not sure, the guy might pass, even if it's like a little shy of a cube. But also, like, your edge is huge, right? 4 men back versus none. You got like decent structure, decent attack. How can you be sure that your opponent is, how can you be sure your opponent is, losing less than 1 point per game after taking? You can't be sure of it, so could be a pass already. And then the checker play was a bit of an oversight probably. Making the 10 is pretty solid. Okay, now it's pretty clear take. 2-2. Yeah, I might have ended up making the 3 point here. I guess the problem with making the 3 is that the last one is quite bad. Like, I don't mind leaving like a single shot in the outfield. But yeah, there's no play that only leaves a single shot in the outfield after making the 3 here. Plus you're kind of wasting all. If you don't make the 3, your builders are going to be great. So yeah, there's something else here. So the computer likes going to the 11 point with 2 of them and then playing 10-6 for 0 shots. Barry makes the 9, so might be a little harder to bring home than the other plays. And then this is also pretty reasonable, making the 9 and playing 10-6. But yeah, leaves a direct shot. Okay, hits and covers. But like, I don't know. If Black rolled like a 4-2 here, like he wouldn't hit. So the shot in the outfield isn't a huge deal. And I thought John got in a pretty decent cube at some point. No, it's not quite there. It's not there yet. This is a little stronger than the computer thinks, I think, on a rollout. But yeah, White's up in the race huge, and Black hasn't covered yet. And then 3-3, right? 3-3. Might have just overlooked 15-3. So a little hard to see. So he makes the 7, and then 4-3 is great hits. 3-3. Oh, he overlooked make. I think I didn't see this at the time either. This is like a fairly common thing to overlook. Now, I'm not saying John definitely overlooked this. He might have seen it and wanted to hit anyways. But yeah, it's pretty common that like you roll some like doubles, and maybe you can hit with the doubles, and his hitting seems like a pretty good idea here, so you do it. But there's this other play where like the checkers kind of come from Siberia and make the back of a 6 prime. It's a very common play to overlook. It's like a rare thing to see. But when it happens, it's pretty common to overlook making the 6 prime here. So you enter with 1 and then play 15-9, 12-9. It's especially common in a situation where you're not up on the bar, and in order to make the 6 prime, you have to move 1 checker with 3 of the dice. You roll like double 4s or something, and you have to play. You have to play like three dice with 1 checker and then one die with the other checker, and so it just looks like really weird to like play like roll double 4s and then like I don't know play 20-8 with 3 of them and then 12-8 with the last one or something. So yeah, you gotta watch out. You gotta watch out for plays like this. It's not gin or anything, but 6 prime is pretty great. And then Barry makes a decent 6-6 play here, making the 1 point, not hitting twice against this awesome structure, and then again correctly plays on. I like this, keeping him from second anchoring. And then 5-2. What would I do with the 5-2 here? Oh, 10-5, 6-4 looks pretty good. Yeah, that's what the computer wants to do. This is pretty clean. So this is we can put the arrow notation up, right? 10-5, 6-4. So you come in, so all doubles are safe, I think. We can put it up on the board. All doubles play well. And 5-5, 6-6, 4-4, yeah, they all play pretty decently. And you should come in with the 6 point stripped. There's only 2 checkers on the 6 point. That's often good when you just care about safety, which is mostly what white just cares about here. You can clear it easily after you bring your guys in usually. Sometimes you can clear it before you bring your guys in. But like normally, you bring your guys in and then you clear the 6 while you still have good spares on like the 5, 4, and 3 points, and that's like usually a very safe thing to do. So it's sort of good. In fact, second best also strips the 4. Yeah, Barry's play apparently is a big error. This is Barry's play. So what's so bad about this? So 6-6 is a blah, which is bad. You're not coming in with the 6 point stripped, which is bad. The checker on the 7 is probably bad too. Who knows? It might end up on the ace point, which isn't great. You don't want a big stack on the ace below the anchor, for flexibility purposes. Yeah, once again, the computer wants to strip the 6 point. If like the gammon race was close, you might prefer the builder on the 6 for a little more risk, because you get to keep the board a little longer. But because mostly Barry's just you care about safety here, yeah, it's good to play 7-3, 6-4. But now 6-6 is safe for a turn anyways. A great shot here by John. That's weird. It's it wants to block 12s. Yeah, it's not that easy to see. Although I guess the builders end up pretty good. Like the checkers end up in pretty good spots after the computers play. 10, 11, 10, 11, 12 away from this checker here. Sort of ideal, and you're blocking 6, 6, 4, 4, 3, 3 very, very well. Yes, this would be a good play. John's play is what? Yeah, you're not blocking anything really, and you're getting hit with nines. Yes, this was okay. Yeah, at first he looked at like putting a guy like on the 7 or 8 points, but it looked like the wrong plan. He's not at the edge of the prime, so it looks like you want to concentrate on maybe making the 9 point as opposed to making the 3 point, because all the checkers are out here, right? Then none of them are in the inner. None of them are on like there's no spares here. So it seems like it's going to be easier to make the 9 here. So you want to focus your builders on the 9 by either playing 21 to 15 and then I don't know 23 to 18 or 18 to 13 or something, or do what or do what John did, which is pretty decent. And yeah, 12 to 9 is okay. I usually think about slotting the 9 point when slotting the back of the prime, even when he's at the edge of the prime, when white's down to a 1 or 2 point board. So 12 to 9 is okay, but I guess the idea is you don't have to take on that risk because you get great outfield control and decent builders just by playing 23 to 21, 16 to 15. You get in other words, you're getting 3 builders for the 9 anyways. So you have some chance to make it anyways. You only have like 1 direct cover number here. Now don't get me wrong, you're much more likely to make the point after John's play and getting away with it, but still, it's still pretty decent. The other play is pretty decent for a lot of reasons. Okay, so John gets the idea that he wants to pick up now, but again, leaving it slotted is okay. Yeah, 5-5. Yeah, so I think a lot of players would do what John did here, make the 3 and the 2. But if your only goal is to make a 6 prime, it should be pretty clear there's something else, right? Like you do John's play, we'll put it up on the board. These checkers are pretty far away from filling in either the 7 or the 1 points. You do the other play where you make the 3 and then slot the 8 and then play 1 more. You're just like 1 roll away from a 6 prime, right? So we put it up on the board. You can do this. And you have 3s and 12s to make the 6 prime next roll. So John probably just didn't consider it. All right, so here he blocks 6-6, but the computer doesn't mind. Okay, it seems like it's close between getting off the back anchor and getting better outfield control, like what John did, or hanging back, slotting the 7. And probably there's some other decent options there too. Yeah, similar stuff here. He finally makes the prime and he rolls it home correctly, and then he wins, I think. Oh, 6 off. Oh, that's cute. I've seen this play before. I don't know if I saw it at the time. Let's see. So 5 and 7, 12. Yeah. So white needs 12 crossovers to bear off all his checkers, right? 5 from here. He's got to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then 7 more checkers. So there's 12. Black needs 14. So the difference of 2 crossovers, which usually that means you want to play safely like John did. But it's close. Usually difference of 3 crossovers is often the inflection point where, if you're down by 3 crossovers or more, there's black. That's often when you want to think about maybe taking an extra checker off, say, and leaving a shot, or leaving a shot for a better position. Here you're 1 away from that. You're only down 2 crossovers. But the computer's play is like pretty clever, right? Like you're still kind of in trouble if you do this and white rolls a big 5. especially 5-5, but even like 5-4, white's probably winning, right? So you're still in pretty big trouble if he rolls an entering number. Similar to here, although you're worse off here if white rolls an entering number. But if white dances, you get to keep a 5-point board a lot this way. That's a pretty strong argument for this play, right? Like most 6s and 5s, you get to keep a 5-point board, which is kind of key. If you do John's play, all 6s and 5s, you're down to a 4-point board, and some of them are blot numbers. Now, I'm not saying I necessarily would have gotten this correct, but that's the argument. That's the argument for this play. So it's a good play to watch out for. It does come up. It does come up. We can go back to the original. Like, I don't think a lot of people are finding this play. Like, some people are clearing the 6. Maybe. Probably not a lot of people. But yeah, the fact that you get to give a 5-point board next roll is sort of key. And the fact that you're kind of dead. You're kind of in trouble if he rolls a 5 anyways. So that's a tough play, though. Yeah, like here we talked about this. You can make the 9-point might be good if he's anchored on the 22. But distributionally, making the 4 is very nice there. 5-4. Yeah, this looked odd at the time, for I think the reasons I explained. Yeah, Barry makes a nice 4-1 play here. 5-4. The computer wants to slot the 5, but John's play of jumping out isn't too bad. Yeah, 2-2 looked like he was trying to do a little too much here. It's a little too much risk to hit here. So you just lock up. You lock up two decent points at no risk. Make the 20 and the 11. This is a bit too loose. This should go double take apparently. Close on the take pass. Might roll out to be a little stronger. Okay, now he's got the second anchor. Sort of a viable 5-point holding game. And maybe a deep anchor game if he rolls big. If white rolls big. I'm sorry, black rolls big. 5-1, yeah, I don't know why I don't make the 3 here. You're leaving a shot anyways. I think I see what John was thinking. He wanted to, if John's getting hit, he wants to be hit from here. So white has to give up the forward anchor. But he's still leaving a shot and, oh no, I'm sorry. Oh no, I was thinking maybe John played like 16-10 or something. Or 16-11, 8-7, which is really bad. But what he did was he jumped out from the back, not leaving any blots in the outfield. No, yeah, that's a pretty reasonable plan. I mean, it's wrong. It's better to make the 3-point according to the computer, but I do see what John was thinking there. I think he's up in the race. He wants to get the back men going. I guess the problem with it is white's pretty happy to swing away here. And, of course, black's not making his 3-point. He gets out of there. It's probably a slightly better way to do it. Yeah, the computer wants to leave a million shots in the outfield at a time when white's board is very weak, but keep really nice distribution here. Yeah, this is really bad distribution. Okay, still not a double, although it's getting close. Probably be a double at 0-0. But white still causes black enough problems, apparently. Okay, now it's just double pass due to the bad front position of white, but it's close. So it makes a little bit of a loose take, maybe. And then he gets the crunches, but he gets to hit after crunching. He's still losing. A couple more dances, maybe. And then John comes home. 3-2, you can make the ace. 3-1, okay, you're making the 5s quite bad here. Even though he's already doubled, he has to bring this home. It's just he's paying too big to the 6s. And it's not complete. I guess it's not complete. I guess if you get away with this, it's not completely trivial to bring this home. You got some bad numbers here, like 6-5, 6-4. 6-3 is pretty bad, although it's not a shot. 5-4 is quite bad. So John's play leaves 0 immediate shots, and there's some blunt numbers here too, but it's fairly robust position despite the gaps. And then he just brings it home. Yeah, Barry can stay back one more time, but doesn't win a ton. Oh, hey, Barry, good to see you. The double 6 prime play looks. Only thing I felt good about in this match. So what game was the double 6 prime play? I don't recall it. I'm not sure. Is it a late game? Like we're going to get to it? Actually, I actually don't quite remember the play. Oh yeah, this is a tough play with the 6. You know, all plays are kind of bad. You know, like 11 to 5 is bad because you're leaving a triple shot, right? 5s, 4s, and 2s. Okay, 7 to 2. Yeah, we'll get there. So I can see why you didn't. I can see why you didn't do this. I might have ended up playing bar 18, but this is bad because you're getting pounded here, right? And then 13 to 7. 13 to 7 is bad because you're not hitting, you're not doing anything with the back checkers, and you're leaving a double shot here. Apparently, it should go double take at this score. It's pretty tricky though. Pretty tricky due to the match score, where you obviously like in a gammonish position where you win a few gammons too. You can take extremely deeply. We're down 4-zip like this. You get like really powerful recubes to 4. Like this is a pretty big money pass, I would say, which we can take a look at after I save this. But yeah, computer thinks it's pretty solid. Computer thinks it's a pretty solid take at the score. Apparently, it wouldn't have been obvious to me. Like for money or at 0-0, say. Yeah, so it's passed by 0.2. Black up 4-zip, where you hold a 2 cube. You can double into 4 extremely aggressively. Sometimes even you're winning 8 here, right after taking. Which is why black has to be a little careful about taking when white wins some gammons. Like black should be a little worried about losing 8 there, where black doubles, white takes, doubles extremely aggressively, and wins the gammon somehow. Yeah, 4-3. This is okay. Computer wants to make more of an escape try. Yes, I sort of ended up liking John's play here, but yeah, there's lots of options. At the score, he should be playing a little conservative, so that's part of the reason why the computer just likes making the 20 point. Fine. He escapes. You hang back. Okay, yeah, decent play here with the 5-3. This wouldn't have been obvious to me. Yeah, I mean, you're stepping up with the 3. You're coming under the gun kind of all these builders. But you do want to start escaping because you're up in the race a little bit, and you're getting kind of primed back there. So yeah, I don't know. This wouldn't have been obvious to me at all. Like it's possible I would have played 13 to 5 even, which is pretty bad. Or maybe run all the way, which is apparently okay. But you get punished for the right play, but then you get rewarded, and then yeah, why not cube this? Yeah, you're up in the race 10 pips, and you have this powerful pointing numbers here. But even if you don't get the pointing number, usually you can play safe, and then you have a decent race and a decent position. So you gotta be a little more optimistic here. Like I would double this for money, I think. Although for money, yeah, you're down 0.5, which is a pretty good argument for doubling also. But even for money or at 0-0, you probably want to cube this. Anyways, you got a great 1-1, and then Oh, you double. Oh, he makes a very bad take. I see. Yeah, it'd be a pretty big pass for money also, but especially bad at the score. Oh yeah, then you should hit here. Yeah, I remember seeing this. Um, 14 to 11, 8 to 3. Yeah, it was not obvious to me at the time, but you're leaving, okay, so you're leaving 6 shots anyways, and you're letting black race a lot of the time. So you can do this instead. You're leaving a lot more shots and a lot more blots, but it definitely wins more gammons, and it arguably wins more because you're taking black out of the race. So maybe that's how you find it, right? You find it because it obviously wins more gammons, and you can argue it wins more. Given that the other play is 6 shots anyways, and black's position is pretty bad. I don't know. No, I wouldn't say this is a completely obvious play though. But anyways, you get hit. Oh, and then he doubles you to 4. I mean, your take points probably at the time I estimated around like 12% or so, and I guess that's about what it is. But and you don't quite have it. No, you do have it. You do have it by a little bit. It looks like. Yeah, it's tough. And if you don't know your take points, it's pretty hard to evaluate this. And even if you do, it's pretty hard to know whether you're winning above or below 12%. So I don't blame you for passing this at all. It's pretty close. Yeah. Five two. Yeah, just float out here. Yeah, the risk is pretty slight from floating out at the outfield because, obviously because black's board is weak and he has a blot and your board is strong. So you're sort of saving outfield shots by doing your play, but you're misplacing a checker on the ace, and you're not getting the backman going. Yeah, so you sort of right away you sort of regret what you did, right? You're dying to get this guy moving, but you can't. So you got to make some huge concession somewhere. It's a good play by John, I thought. Yeah, you avoided the trap of running here. Okay, clean play by John. A decent play, keeping some outfield structure, keeping somewhat of a board. Yeah, I like John's play here with the ace. Yeah, 20 to 11, good. Apparently there's something slightly, oh yeah, there's this. You can run with 1. Sort of a common, I don't know if you saw this or not, but it was a common oversight to, like, when you roll doubles, usually you're moving them in pairs, which you did. There's obvious, and then, so you got to kind of explicitly think, oh, maybe I can run with 1 guy. I'm not saying that this is an obvious play if you see it, but you can do it if you see it. Like the problem with your play, although you led to a good cube, I thought, an okay cube, I thought. Obviously, it's pretty hard to get off these 2 points without leaving a direct shot. But I don't know, your cube is okay. Your cube is good. And then John should stay back and kill checkers like this. Woof. I don't know if I would have done this. He's down 14 pips even after the 6-5 though. And obviously there's still a ton of contact here. Like black, not only might black hit here, but he's going to slow down white quite a bit by staying back. Like white rolls 6-5 for instance. And he has to play deep in order to avoid leaving a shot. If you do the computer's play here. If you do John's play, white gets to play very flexibly and never gets hit. Anyways, Barry wins that one. Nice 6-6 by John. Yeah, 3-2. Okay, so usually after, this is a good rule of thumb. After your opponent rolls 6-6 on his first roll, often what you want to do is you want to split. So I would have probably played 24 to 21, 13 to 11 here, but apparently the other split's okay too. Although actually, the computer's top choice is a play I wouldn't make. The computer's top choice is this. Okay, so the reason I like to split here, I'll just go over it, is because white can be blocked and black can't be blocked because he has that forward anchor. So it's more important than usual to get your backmen going to avoid getting blocked. Apparently here though there's this other option where you play 13 to 10, 6 to 4. You're not getting hit very much. At least you're not. At least some of the hits you might hit with like a 3-2 that aren't that great for him. But like 3-1 obviously he's not hitting. 2-1 he's not hitting. But it just builds like super quickly and super cleanly. So the computer doesn't mind this. Oh, of course the computer doesn't mind these split plays also. Interesting. Huh. Yeah, I'm not sure I've seen that before. Okay, 1-5, good. 4-1. I see a bunch of options here. Your play's pretty reasonable. Hitting. Well, black has the blots in the outfield. Yeah, I like your play here. Just swinging away, hoping for the best. 2-1. So what are you supposed to do here? Okay, so it likes entering with the 2 and just hitting with the 1, which looks pretty natural. Of course, it's like a triple shot over here. So what do you do? Oh, you lock up the points, which leaves a shot in the outfield, but it also lets black attack everywhere, which he rolled this great attack number. And then for some inexplicable reason, he didn't attack with it. I think he just had like this weird brain farts. Like he rolled 5, after your play, which spread out blots everywhere, he rolled this like 5-5 and somehow didn't attack. Yeah, it's absurd. I think it's like he knows this is better. It's just, I don't know, somehow he just like weirdly overlooks some attack option. He was like focused. He was focused on like cleaning up the blots or something, and he saw that like the 5-5 cleans up the blots like pretty well, and so he went with it without considering the other options. I bet you were very relieved when I didn't blitz you with the 5-5. And then 5-1. Oh, I see. The computer saying it's very important to jump with the checker. Get one of these 4 guys out from the prime. So it makes the inferior anchor and jumps with the 5, as opposed to your play, which makes the better anchor. Doesn't jump, gives up all outfield control for when black runs out. I see. Yeah, that 5-5 was something. Okay, yeah, good outfield control here. John's trying to get out of there. And then, yeah, you don't... Okay, so after the dance here, yeah, you got too much work to do to cube, I think. And it's not super gammonish. So you correctly hold off. Now you can cube this because you're threatening. It's close. You're threatening to make the 7 point, and then black might be in a little bit of trouble. But it's still a very, very easy take, so it's okay to hold off. Yeah, this looks fine. And then 3-2. So you gotta. Okay, so he tries to get out of there, which I guess I would have done also. Oh, but it does give white all these options to tack on the 4 and make the 4. I see. So what does the computer do? The computer just sort of solidifies in the front and not get attacked by white. Now the play is a big difference in cubeful equity here, but part of the reason why it's such a big difference is because if you step up with the 3, white actually has a pretty decent cube. Yeah, it's pretty important to cube this. Because not that it's like super duper strong or anything, but white's going to be attacking on the 4 point, and then black is, some of the time black is crushed. Like any pointing number is crushing, right? Even 3-4, say. And a number like 5-1 followed by a dance, that's pretty damn strong too. So often it's going to be like a huge pass next roll. So that's why it's so imperative, especially at the score where like black has to be pretty careful about taking when there's some gammas floating around. So yeah, it's sort of a big deal here. And in fact, you should hit sort of for the same reasons as the other 5-3. I mean, it definitely wins the most gammas to hit, and because if you don't hit, you're letting black out at a time when he's up in the race. It probably does even win more to hits. Anyways, so you go out. So he goes after you. It gets complicated. Yeah, this 1-1 was. I don't know. I mean, I probably would have done that what the computer did at first. So the 1-1. I mean, my idea was, I think, the same as the computer's idea. You hit twice on black side of the board. You don't hit on white side of the board, and you hope black enters quickly and has some. And white still has like an okay 4 prime in front of the front checker here. So you can cause some cracking that way. But what you did, like, I wasn't sure it was wrong, which is like a completely different plan, right? You're hoping black enters quickly on the 1 point and then cracks his home fronts, with or without picking up this other checker. Yeah, right. Yeah, that's the right way. So you thought so my thought was the only way I was going to win was to make him break his prime by making my own, right? And at the same time minimizing how many of his I put up on the bar, so I can. Yeah, you're thinking about it. You're thinking about it the right way for sure. You want him to come in on the ace point really soon and then crack his prime. One bad thing about the plan, though. Here, we'll put up your play up on the board. You're not at the edge of his prime, right? So even when he enters quickly, say, he can break his 8 point and he still has like a pretty decent block. Whereas if you do the computer's play, you're already at the edge. In some senses, it might be harder for black to crack here, because he still has the checker. You still have your 4 point open. He still has a checker there. But when he cracks, it's more painful for him because you're right at the edge of the prime. When he breaks head, he's forced to break his 8 point with a single number, say. So yeah, that's a tough play. Apparently, all the computer's top plays are like hitting both these checkers, and not switching to the 4 point. But yeah, it's pretty close. But your plan does work. He cracks, and then you hit him appropriately. Apparently, you should cube before even hitting him here. I guess because the 1s are so powerful. And then yeah, it says it's so powerful that it says it's too good. At this score where he has to be very careful about being gammon and has no recube vig, Yeah, 2-1 is a tough play. I wouldn't know what to do either. John's play is pretty reasonable looking. It's often not great to have a checker on your 11 though when the guy split with an ace. Like, it makes some of his bad numbers good, I guess. This does duplicate 6-4 though. A decent run play here. Okay, hit and split to the 20. Yeah, jump out, which it doesn't like. Okay, it wants to hit here. You jump out, I guess you're giving black all the freedom in the world to do something. If you hit, it's pretty thematic because of the score and because you have the stronger board. I guess that's what the computer's thinking. A good play here by John, pushing the gammons down. You get out of there, try to get out of there. John tries to race. Yeah, this would be a little tough for him, but I ended up liking your play of just minimizing shots. Making the 5 has its merits, though. You get punished. You make a good 4-4 play. John's trying to prime you. 2-1. Apparently the computer hates John's play of hitting while up in the race here. Yeah, loses more gammons. Apparently John should cube before the roll. He's up 10. Your take point is around, ignoring gammons, your take point's around 22 or 23. I guess it's not that clear you have it here. So before the roll, yeah, John has a pretty decent cube. Oh, I see. Yeah, you can take it. Oh, okay. Yeah, you can take. I said the take point. If you ask XG, that the gammonless take point is 22.5 approximately. But here you can take at 21.5 because you can almost take at 21.5, say, because white wins a couple percent gammons maybe, or 1% gammons, that pushes the take point down by almost a percent, say. Oh, and that's maybe why the computer hates hitting so much. If you just play 6-3 and white doesn't jump, maybe black can double right away, or in a turn or two anyways. So you'd reduce the volatility when you have cube access. Yeah, I liked your 1 here just for 4 shots. You get much better front position. And then you roll this great 4-4. And then he rolls this great 1-1. And then I don't know what's going on here. Apparently it's double close take or possible. Crap. Sorry about that. Yeah, actually, when we were playing, I think something might have, yeah, my mic cut out there for some reason. Yeah, thanks for letting me know. Yeah, sorry about that. I'm sorry I messed up the video too. Um, During our match though, was my mic off for at least part of it? Because after the match, I noticed like my mic had cut out also. So, yeah, sorry if I wasn't chatting during the match. But anyways, yeah, this 5-5. Your play does okay for the win, but you're gonna win more gammons by staying back. And I was saying like, okay, so part of the reason why it's bad to stay back like this is because you might get attacked, but it's a little hard to see how black's going to attack effectively against this awesome white structure. And then 1-1. I see. So pip count's even after the roll, but black's on roll. So in that sense, you're down in the race. Usually you want to count being on roll is worth 4 pips. Average roll is 8 pips. But after black rolls, then you're going to be on roll. So usually you count being on roll as being worth like 4 pips. So in that sense, even though the pip count's even, you're down in the race because black's on roll. Oh, and when you stay back here, yeah, I would have gotten this right. And when you stay back here, black has to play first, right? And he has these two. He got these 2 problem points to clear. You only have 1 problem point to clear. So black's timing is quite bad here if you stay all the way back for the extra contact. And then he just blows past you. So where was that 6-6 you were talking about? I'm not sure I saw it. You said there was like a priming 6-6? Was that our match that had the 6-6? Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, our match. Can't remember whether I took a good look at our match or not. Oh, I went over it. Oh, okay. So what was it in the 7-2 game? Seven three. Yeah, I don't recall. So let's see what happened in our match. Can't remember whether I took a good look at it or not, to be honest. I mean, let me actually grab our match. We can maybe take a look at a couple things. So this is our match. So I'm going to put me on the bottom. Yeah, it was kind of a lot of games. Oh yeah, make a mistake with 5-4 here. Apparently he should run here. Even though like I'm only up 2 pips after running, it's just he can't really attack me very effectively. Even though my board is so weak. 15-4, 15-10, 13-7. I would not have played the computer play here. Jeez, the computer here wants to do this play. Ah, gotcha. Yeah, the 1-1. Right. The computer one. I don't think people are really doing this. Leaving a shot here. Why leave a shot here? You know, you're just often going to play safe and just like creep up to a good cube. Is the idea? Maybe the idea is you get away with this and you get an immediate good cube in. That's probably what the computer's thinking. Yeah, you can't cube this yet. Can't cube this. You did okay to hold off. And I roll lucky 6-6. And then I lose the raise. Oh, one thing you might want to think about, Barry, which I noticed, not this game. It should be a simple, it's not worth a ton, but it should be a simple problem to fix. Right, like 5-1 here, for instance. You're thinking too much about crossing everyone onto the 6 point, and not thinking enough about making sure you don't gap on the 5 and 4 points. So you want to like forego a crossover here to make sure you avoid a really, really painful gap on the 5 point later on. Now the computer doesn't think it's a big deal to do what you did. So you overstack the 6 and you put a guy on the 4, which is good. But you let the 5 point void. But part of the reason why the computer doesn't think it's a big deal is because it knows it's going to just like fill in the 5 point. It's going to have chances to fill in the 5 point later with checkers, including maybe with an ace, you know. So yeah, you want to sort of avoid this structure where you might end up void on the 5, because it's just you're gonna miss with 5s later and then end up stacking a bunch of guys on the ace point, and then you're gonna waste pips later when you have a bunch of guys on the ace points. Now it turns out you roll like a decent number to fill in the 5 point here, so it didn't really hurt you. Apparently you should be cubing this. Yeah, I was glad not to be cubed here. Yeah, I was glad not to be cubed here. So one simple, all things being equal, at even match score, you want to initial double when you are up 8% or more of the leader's pip count. It's a very simple rule, but it is actually a fairly robust rule. Here the efficiency between the players is about equal. Maybe I'm a little bit more efficient because of your thin 5 and 4 points. So instead of being up 8 pips, maybe you think of it as being up 7.5 pips. Let's say you're up 8 pips. Let's say you're up a clean 8 pips here. 8 pips is more than 8% of the leader's pip counts. Obviously it's up more than 10% of the leader's pip count, because 10% of 77 is 7.7, right? So you know you're up over 8% of the leader's pip count. So that would have been like the extent of my analysis here. Like, aside from the fact that the score is no big deal, the match score is no big deal, I think, okay, somewhat money-like. So, like, I would have found, it's very easy to find the cube here if you understand, like, this very simple racing formula. 8%, yeah. And then you need 8% of the leader's pip count to initial double. You need 9% of the leader's pip count to redouble. So this would be a redouble also, because you're up over 10%. And then for money, you're at 0-0, say. If you're down 12% or more of the leader's pip count, you should pass. Again, all things being equal. So that's why I erroneously thought this was a take. I erroneously thought this was a take because 8 is more than 12% of 73. I'm sorry, 8 is less than 12% of 73. That one might not be obvious. One shortcut you can do, which I like doing, so you don't have to, I'm not smart enough to do division on the fly, but I am smart enough to multiply on the fly. If you multiply 8 by 8.3, or 8 1/3, and you compare that to the leader's pip counts, that tells you whether you're down 12% or more. In other words, I multiply the pip count deficit of 8 by 8.3 or 8 1/3, and I get 64 plus a few more. I get like 67. That is less than 73. So I know I'm down less than 12% of the leader's pip count. So I think this is a take for money, and it is a take for money. Turns out it's a pass at the score due to the vagaries of being 6 away. But it would be a take at 0-0. It would be a take. It would be a take for money. And by the way, if you want to know whether you can do the same multiplication trick at 8% for 8%, you just multiply by 12.5. Right. So here, for instance, if for some reason you didn't know 8% was more than 10% of 77, you can multiply 8 by 12.5. And see that it's above 77, and you say, oh, I'm up more than 8% of the leaders pip comp. And I'll leave it as an exercise to figure out what the 9% number is. So that's what I like to do, because I just don't like doing division on the fly, but I can multiply on the fly. But yeah, this is take for money, pass it, score, which might be a little surprising, given that I'm losing the match. So maybe I should take more readily than for money or 0-0, say. But yes, it's because you're even away. It's because you're 6 away. And if I take and lose, if I take and lose, which is probably going to happen, right? You get to like 4. You get to like a comfortable 4-away score. It's kind of good to be 4 away. It's sort of better than it should be. So I got to re-import the match. So give me 1 second here. But anyways, I accidentally correctly pass. Yeah, sort of nice 4-1. 4-1 on the opening roll is pretty close between slotting and splitting. But once I bring 2 guys down with a 4-3, if you slot, you're duplicating some of my 4s, so that sort of swings it. And maybe want to aim more towards a priming game because you're down in the race. Yeah, exactly. And double gammas are very valuable at 4 away. All right, so you have a pass here apparently, but it's pretty close. I try to get going. Yeah, you seem to be attacking appropriately, and then you're too good. Not good enough here, but 2 on the roof. Yeah, it wants to play on for the gammon here pretty reasonably. Good. Oh, 5, 5. Oh yeah, why not make the 5 and the 1 as opposed to the 3 and the 1 here? You get more points with 3 and 1, but the 5 looks like it has so much more value than the 3. And the 10 point the 10 point is a bit of an asset for you, but it's also a liability because you got to clear it later. Yeah, this is gonna be a lot harder to bring home than say this position. Yeah, playing too fast, right? Like, yeah, you did like the natural thing, like early 5-5, you're often making the 3 and the 1, especially with the extra checker on the 8 point, right? But yeah, you gotta look around. Can't play by rote. Okay, so 5-2 by John. So 13-6 looks okay. What did he do? 13-11, 6 to, oh yeah, that looks weird. I mean, I guess if you get away with it, yeah. I guess if you get away with it, yeah. I don't even know if you prefer this if you know you're getting missed. Because I don't know, you hate the 3rd guy on the ace, and it's hard to use this builder without leaving an additional shot in the outfield. Yeah. Yeah, and you punish them. And then yeah, good double. I mean, it says it's too good, but double pass is fine. You might get a take once in a while. Not for me though. Yeah. Anyways. Well, I'm sorry. I think I have the. I'm black, so I'm kind of loopy today. I think. I punish you, and then I cash something that's maybe a little too good, right? Yeah. Okay, I do the normal thing with the 5/5. You come back. Apparently, I should maybe hit here, but I spread things out. I do hit here. Apparently, I should play. Oh, I didn't even see this play. I mucked this up. Should just play 24 to 14. That makes sense. So I leave a double shot in the outfield. I get a good anchor out of it, though. I see. I am up 19 pips though, so I should be running more than hanging back. That was a really bad play. 4-2, I play okay. 5-5. Oh, and then I have like a total brain fart here, and I forget about the cube, which I almost never do nowadays. I mean, here is no big deal. Here is no big deal. I wasn't even thinking about it though, and then I get to a position that's like a pretty big double, and I just completely space on it. This was idiotic. And then I realized at the next roll that I remembered I haven't been thinking about the cube. Apparently this is still maybe a take, but still, oof. It was idiotic. Yeah, your play's okay. Wants to take more of a attacking approach because the backmen aren't that stuck. 4-6. Wants to play 8-2 and not jump out. Looks very unnatural to me. But I am down in the race, and you are very happy to hit with sixes. I'm threes, I mean. Okay, so what is it? Okay, so you jump out. Yeah, you jump out and hit. The computer wants to play 13-7, 13-10. It's an upcoming cube, which maybe magnifies the equity difference here. But I don't know, I get a great cube saver. Okay, go after you, trying to contain the back checker. Sort of working. I think a little bit about cubing due to the score, but I don't. Getting a good cube. I thought this was a lot stronger at the time. I almost half expected to pass here, but apparently he did well to take, and it's a huge take due to the great structure. 8-4-6-5. Why didn't I do that? Oh, I played 13-9, 6-5. So what's wrong with that? 8-4-6-5 or 13-9, 8. Oh, I thought about 13-9, 8-7. I did think about this, but I didn't want to leave the 4 extra shots at a time of getting hits really, really bad. So I did this instead for 3 builders. So why is the computer's play so much better than mine? It's 3 shots instead of 2. The hits are less potent. Because after my play, when I get hits, white's out of my hair, White has already escaped. Maybe that's just what the computer's thinking. The 2 hits are very painful here. Yeah. Huh. Okay, make a nice play with the 1-5 here. Keeping me from building and trying to contain that back checker. But I hit you. Then I'm thinking, oh, I'm gonna lose this. And you did well to play on. You never cashed. Yeah, nice play here going after me. It's a little bit questionable because you don't really need a gammon. If you win a single game, that's probably good enough to win the match, So 11-3 is not as bad as usual. But even for the win, I guess it likes hitting. I didn't like your 2-1 here. Oh, I remember seeing this. Yeah. You don't want three guys stuck on the ace point. All right, wants 4 to 3 instead of 8 to 7 here. Fine. Okay, I'm sure it likes the slot, right? Okay. 6-1. Oh, it really wants to get going. So you play 15 to 8. But okay, I just roll like a 5. I roll like, even though I don't jump, right? I roll a I don't know, 6-2 or something. Yeah, you're often cracking quite badly with numbers like 5-3. Even I don't know, 2-4 is very bad, you know. So it says, the computer says, okay, now is the time. Now is the time to get out of there. Since you rolled the 6, which is not easy to roll, and it's saying you are getting attacked a bunch, but my board isn't quite together yet. And even when I close you out, I still have 3 guys to escape. So I guess you're worried. Are you worried about the wrong stuff there? I guess. You know, you're worried about getting attacked when you should be worried about losing the timing battle. Yeah, I'm making okay play here. It's a little too clever, maybe. Yeah, computer just wants to do this. I'm thinking if I do this, and then you enter, I'm kind of dead anyways. And when you dance, I want this position, because I get to keep a 5-point board longer. Yeah, apparently this is redouble, close take, or close pass. I don't know. This is hard. This is a hard cube to find. And you're too good again. And then I hit you. And I'm thinking, all right, maybe I can save the gammon here. I don't have any like real chance to win this, I think. Apparently it's a few percent. I didn't even think I had that much. But I'm like pretty happy I hit, because I get to save the gammon most of the time. And then here I'm thinking, okay, I really, really don't want to be hit, because the gammon race seems like fairly close at this point. So I'm like, even though this is pretty gross to do, I'm thinking I never get hits on the next roll anyways. As opposed to possibly the right play where I get hit with 7s and lose a gammon that way. Anyways. Computer doesn't quite like it. You're 6-2. I'm thinking, okay, I still have a decent chance to save this even after you're 6-2. My roll is horrible, 2-1, and then yeah, it's just bad. This surprised me a little bit. Computer actually wants to play 11-6 here, but which I think a lot of people are doing. But the problem is only 6-6 bears off next roll, right? 5-5 doesn't work, and 4-4 doesn't work. So if I do my play, I don't get 4-4, I just get 5-5, I see. And apparently, often I get 2 rolls here, so apparently this is quite a bit better for being off in 2, so the computer likes it here. My play is better for getting off in 1, because 5-5 works. Anyways. Yeah. All right, well, Barry, yeah, thanks for playing, thanks for watching. I hope you got something out of the analysis. Yeah, you can go back and watch my in-game commentary, because I do have stuff to say about both your and John's play there. But anyways, yeah, good games, good game. Congrats on making it to the finals, and yeah, we'll see you next time.